Second Esdras 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting of asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Shalom, Kwam Yashala, Koholoyinla, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakahakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely, keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Hanan the Waf, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And just wanted to touch on this quick article in Reuters. It says Kremlin says changes to Russia's nuclear policy are a signal to the West. So, because these Edomites here in the Americas, Babylon the Great, won't mind their goddamn business, these people are like, hey, we're going to step up our game to be able to, really get at y'all with these nukes. And we know that that's part of end days prophecies for America to be destroyed. And Russia plays a key part in it. But it says, let's see here. The Kremlin said on Thursday that changes to the Russians' nuclear weapons doctrine outlined by President Vladimir Putin should be considered a signal to the Western countries that there will be consequences if they participate in attacks on Russia. Putin said on Wednesday that Russia could use nuclear weapons if it was struck with a conventional missile, and that Moscow would consider any assault on it supported by a nuclear power to be a joint attack. The decision to change Russia's official nuclear doctrine is the Kremlin's answer to deliberations in the United States and Britain about it, whether or not to give Ukraine permission to fire conventional Western missiles into Russia. And this is what this guy's been begging for, Vladimir Zelensky, or whatever the hell his name is. He was just here in the Americas. I'm not sure if he's still here. He might be gone by now, but I think they gave his ass an extra 500 million or so, you know what I'm saying, some more weapons. But he wants to use America's shit to basically shoot, further off into Russia. So they're going to consider that to be a sign of shit, straight all out war from America, basically, in these NATO nations. So this thing is getting hot, man. The decision, let me see, it says Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said adjustments to the document called the Foundation of State Policy in the Sphere of Nuclear Deterrence have been formulated. Asked by reporters if the changes were a signal to the West, he said this should be considered a definite signal. This is a signal that warns these countries about the consequences if they participate in an attack on our country by various means and not necessarily nuclear ones. So they basically like, you ain't even got to shoot no nuclear, nothing. Goddamn it, you just shoot a missile off in this bitch, and we gonna let y'all get some business. So man, it's a lot going on out here, man. Peskov said a decision on whether or not to publish the nuclear documents will be made at a later date. Oh, I missed this part right here. The world, Peskov said, was witness to an unprecedented confrontation, which he said was provoked by the direct involvement of Western countries, including nuclear powers in the Ukraine war. Hey, man. Russia's current published nuclear doctrine set out in 2020 decree by Putin says Russia may use nuclear weapons in case of a nuclear attack by an enemy or a conventional attack that threatens the existence of the state. Asks if rejecting a post-Soviet moratorium on nuclear tests had been discussed as part of the changes. Peskov said he could not answer the questions on as a Wednesday meeting had been mostly top secret. So hey, you can see what's popping, man. We see what it is. And Esau's the end of the world. That's why I just read that second Esdras, man. Let's go back. Hey, he's the end of the world. This is the end of his age. Let's get Matthew, and I want to read it in I think it's called the Passion Translation. Matthew 24 and 3. So let's go you know what? Let's see. I gotta go switch this up real quick. But this is called the yeah, it's a lot of translations to it. This one right here, it talks about the end of the age as well. The TOV. Let me see what that's called. What is it? TOV is Tree of Life version. Okay. Yeah, I got quite a few. I love this app because I got a lot of different translations downloaded, and it's still a lot more. I mean, this thing got, I bought this app off Apple from the Apple Play Store years back, and I love it. I love this Bible. Got the KJV. The Apocrypha reads pretty smooth. So if you have an Apple iPhone or whatever, you can grab that app. I'm not sure if they still sell it. It's been a while. They may even have it for free. But good app because you get a lot of different translations and just got these nice little tools to it. Well, let me go off into this. Verse 3. As he sat upon Matthew 24 and 3, Salakia. As he sat up as he was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, Tell us, when will these things happen? What will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? And I like that part, that translation, because it speaks on the end of the age. Now, when we went into Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 9, and it talks about Esau is the end of the world, it really could read Esau is the end of this age, and Jacob is the beginning of the age that follows, right? Because Esau, he's gonna get this place fucked up, man. The so-called white man, these Babylonians here in the Americas, hey, they about to, about to catch some business soon, man. And we're praying that it comes soon. But we know that there are other prophecies that have to play out. But now they have Yeshua, but we know that his name is not Yeshua. His name is Yahweh Shai, and that's in this particular translation. Now, in the regular KJV translation, they have Jesus, which we know that's not the name of the Lord as well, because like this Yeshua, there's no letter E or no letter U in the Hebrew alphabet, so we know his name can't be Yeshua. And then in the KJV version, it says Jesus. It can't be Jesus because there's no letter J, E, O, U, or V in the Hebrew alphabet, and the letter J was invented in 1524, which is 500 years ago. So if the Lord walked the earth 2,000 years ago, we know for a fact his name cannot be Jesus. And in the Greek, they say Jesus with the letter I, which is what they were using in replacement of the letter J, because there was no letter J then. It was generally the letter I. That's why they have Jesus or Jesus. But the Lord is not a Greek. He was a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah, or Yahweh in the Hebrew tongue. And the angel Gabriel gave the name to give him. It's Yahweh Shai. And actually when Peter was or Paul was knocked off the horse, the Lord spoke to him in the Hebrew tongue. And when you go off into the word, you know what I'm saying, it gives you, he spoke to him in the Hebrew tongue, so we know that he was saying his name was Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew tongue. But that's another lesson. But anyway, let's read on. Yahweh Shai answered them, be careful that no one leads you astray, for many will come in my name saying, I am the Messiah, and will lead many astray. And there's a lot of that going on as well, because this is the last days. It's a lot of false prophets, a lot of false teachers, a lot of damn mockers and scoffers. All these things are happening, man, because the scripture said that they will be happening. This is how we know how close we are, man. That's why we do these lessons to let our people know, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you got to repent, because this is for you. The Lord is about to blow this goddamn place to pieces because of you, because you are the Israelites. You are his chosen people. You are the apple of his eye. And they actually have the inheritance of the Lord in their hands in captivity 500 years later. So you're running around out here. You want to associate yourself with them, calling on white Jesus, which is a goddamn idol. The Lord is going to destroy you too. So it's best that you get away from these people. So it goes on to say, verse 6, you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not alarmed, for this must happen, but it is not yet the end. So we're not alarmed by these things. We're not to worry about these things. We should be praying for these things to happen and happen more rapidly. We're going to go through some things, but the quicker this shit is done, the quicker we out of here, man. We're hastening the day. You should truly, really want to get the fuck out of this wicked ass kingdom that this man is running, man. This place is nasty on every scale. There's nothing good about this place at all, man. Verse 7, Matthew 24:7, for nation will rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. But all these things are only the beginning of birth pangs. See? So these things are happening, man. These things are happening right before our very eyes. And so let me go to this. Let's go back into my apocryphal version here. Let's go to Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So he said to measure thou the time diligently. See, we're supposed to be looking at these signs, looking at all these little tidbits, because the scripture talks about let me get Sirach 5:15. It says, be not ignorant of anything, and a great matter or small. So we're scouring through all this shit. You might see a brother do a little something about P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? To just show you how wicked, and how defiled our people are, you know what I'm saying, type of deal. It's so many things you can get out of lessons on this guy. But the world is tuned in on the bullshit. They don't understand what's really going on. And they don't understand that that's actually really, it's just bread and circus. It's really just something to throw your mind off what's really, really happening out here in the world. Because I know they just had the UN meeting. I forgot what it was called just the other day. And these Edomites, when they get together in private like that, they putting together plans on your ass. And so while everybody was focused on Diddy, they was just putting together devising plans, man. So now I've heard a few things about whether or not the US is giving, I think, WHO, the World Health Organization, and NATO, or UN, or United Nations or whatever, to have powers to override the United States Constitution. So these so-called white people, man, they not going for that shit. Then you got the wars, rumors of wars. You got civil war that's being spoken of as well. Matter of fact, let me go and let me get that TPT. Let me see, what was that in? TOV, Tree of Life. Let me see here. No, let me see. Oh shit, what happened? Oh, they don't. Oh, I see what they're doing. They don't have that comparison in there. I want to go to Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. I wanted to see how it reads in there. And it reads, knowing their thoughts. And again, they have this damn Yeshua shit, but his name is Yahushai. Yahushua said to them, every kingdom divided against itself is destroyed, and every city or house divided against itself will not stand. If Satan drives out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then will his kingdom stand? And that's an overall general thing as far as like just Edomites in general, because they're dying off quicker than they're being born. There's all kinds of articles, where they're trying to, they got all these incentives trying to get people to have more sex and have more babies in these European countries, and people just not with it because they understand, they just not with it. It's not, the Lord has broken that shit down. There was a time when people would be happy to have children. Matter of fact, in the ancient days, it was a shame for you to not a woman to not bear children, or a man to not have children, so to speak, and especially not to have sons to carry on the family's name. But now you're living in a world where people don't want to have children. Selfish. They're lovers of their own selves, according to Second Timothy chapter 3, where it talks about in the last days it will be perilous times. So you think that these countries, these European countries, they're so divided You think that they would come together and say, hey, let's stop all this fighting. Let's stop all this fighting. Let's make it where, we can repopulate because we're dying off quicker than we're being born. But the Lord has placed that spirit on these clowns to demolish themselves. They're destroying their own selves. Their own kingdom is imploding from within. And the Lord has set that up, man. Because let me see how this reads. Proverbs 21:1. A king's heart is like a stream of water in the hand of Adonai. He directs it wherever he wants. That's a good translation. But the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and he directs it, the way that he wants it. So these leaders, they have no idea that they're actually being, moved about. Their mindset, the way that they think, is being moved about by the Lord. Matter of fact, it's another one. Let me see how this reads in this one too. Some of these translations be on point, some don't. This is Job 33:15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on men as they slumber in bed, then he opens the ears of men and seals their instruction in order to turn a man from his conduct and to cover a person's pride. It's a pretty decent translation. But overall, hey, the Lord, he sets in the mindset of these men as they sleep what they're going to get up to do, and it's programmed in them, and they can't go beyond it. They can't do what they want to do because man's goings of the Lord. Proverbs 20:24. So hey, we living in some very interesting times. A man's steps are directed by Adonai. How then can anyone understand his own way? See, our steps, man, everything that we got up and done this morning, everything all the way through your day, it's already been ordered by the Lord, man, and there's nothing you can do to get out of that. You can't change that. So what's going on with these leaders? Hey, they got a deal, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna deal the way that the Lord set them up to deal, and eventually we're gonna get the hell out of here, man. And I pray that it's soon. This place sucks. You ain't doing it but getting up every damn day, going to work and just punching in and, you know, same old shit. Breathing crazy ass air, eating weird ass foods. You don't know what's in, this man, we need control over what's going into our bodies, man. We need control over, we just need the ultimate break from this man, man. This man is a goddamn madman. And I just wanted to touch on this real quick because I seen it like, hey, this is definitely prophecy. It's definitely a step up to what's happening out here, man. So, hey, keep your head on a swivel. Be, circumspect. You could get that because Esau about to come down with that great wrath, man. Because people are pinpointing his ass. The spotlight, that big ass light, keep following him. He trying to run into the dark, but that big ass light still on him. He can't escape his shame, man. All the countries, all these other nations are starting to speak out on his ass. Ephesians 5:15, it says, so pay close attention to how you walk, not as unwise people, but as wise. Make the most of your time because the days are evil. I've never really liked that trend. It's similar to another, I think, the New Living Translation. But let's go back to the KJV. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. So you have to be circumspect out here, man. Be on the watch, be on the lookout. And doing these lessons like this and scouring through the news, you know what I'm saying? You should be at least, check out some of this news, man. You can't just be kicked back and just, I know we all busy. We all got things to do. You may be, but I mean, if you driving, they got news on the damn radio. I rarely, it's rare. I don't even listen to music, man. If I'm listening to the radio, it's most definitely on a news station. You know, that is rare. It's super rare if I'm listening to some music, because actually I just can't stand listening to this shit. I don't care what kind it is, really. But yeah, man, some news. I mean, it's no excuse for you not being able to at least check out a news article for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Well, what's so hard about that? That shouldn't be hard for anybody because we're to watch and pray. That's what the scripture says. That's why that scripture says to be circumspect. Or the Lord said to measure thou the time diligently. How you gonna do that if you're not into this news? If you're not checking into some of these things, you know? And I wanted to further go off into because I'm not sure again what's going on with the UN meeting. I have to check into that a little bit more, get a little bit more research into what they actually said about NATO, or I mean Slovakia, the UN, pretty much overriding the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? So if another pandemic or something break out, or just whatever, these people can just come right off in here, and now all of a sudden you don't have no rights no more. All your little rights is over with. All that, oh, you can't do that to me. I have constitutional, the First Amendment, this amendment. They're gonna override all that shit. You're not gonna have no rights. And these people not gonna be playing no games, man. They get, even you so-called white people, y'all gonna be treated like niggas, man. They're gonna snatch your ass out of the vehicle, slam your ass on the hood if they don't put a clip in you. So it is what it is, man. So we're pretty much getting about to that point. You know what I'm saying? So hey, I just wanted to just touch on this, do a quick little lesson on it, to just give a update, because it's been ongoing. And it's just an update to that nuclear doctrine, man. Hey, they ready to, like, all right, well, anything comes this way now, we're ready to push a nuclear button on your ass. And that can go for any of these countries, man. Any of these countries can get that business, man. So we'll see what happens from there. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying, for me, inshallah, and above all.